Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OC. I apologize for the extended break, the extended downtime, but of course, BratOK, he was locked in series against Quanta. He had a 35-minute game, ace match, I should say, between himself and Quanta. Did go the distance, split map scenario. We had Mech, we had BC, we had Lockdowns, we had Raven, we had Viking. It was a crazy back and forth, and it barely did go the way of BratOK. And now we are jumping into our next series. Now the tournament continues. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Team Liquid, the SC2 Protoss. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is BratOK. Here we go. We are jumping into our TVP, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we dive into our lower bracket quarterfinals. Here we go. As a reminder, there are players waiting for these series to wrap up. We have Beyond waiting for this series, and we have Classic waiting for the winner of that series, and then we have Dark in the grand finals as well. We have players lying in wait, and we are now embracing our best of threes. Here we go. Here we go. Initially, we do have our economic opener here out of SKillous, just going for a gate expand into Cybercore, standard opener out of Skills. Meanwhile, BratOK opening up with his own rank expand as well. Single gas opener, so economic builds all around. Economic openers here from our two players. From here, we're settling in. Now, when it comes to TVP, we did mention previously that we expect certain styles out of our players here. BratOK, he is one to embrace Mech, and Mech is viable, very much so, against Protoss from the Brood War Terran side. If you haven't seen it before, mate, vultures, tanks, spider mines as well. Goliaths, Goliaths, they're so good they got nerfed. Goliaths were nerfed recently when it came to just how powerful they were as an all-around unit. So Goliaths, they have taken a bit of a blow to try to help alleviate with that. But my eyes are on BratOK. I'm expecting Mech. We'll see. But now Machine Shop is on the way. Machine Shop on that factory, and do you see what I see? Speaking of mech, second factory's on the way. BratOK, he is meching it up. Let's go. Now, I would imagine we're going to be opening up with spider mines into vulture production. There we go. Vultures are a great way to gain map control, to gain momentum. Vultures, they are speedy boys, and we have ion thrusters on the way. That is to help out with that vulture speed, to gain map control, to keep Skillous pinned back at home, followed by spider mine play. Let's go. As the vultures are going to be amassing. For the time being, Adept does poke in. Adept does barely not see the initial unit of choice, as Marines do hold the line. Yo, I love the sound effects. Not gonna lie, this is the first time we're actually going to be featuring Brood War Terran. I believe Beyond didn't even get a chance to play Brood War Terran when he was competing. I guess he did. He went for an all-in. He went for a proxy racks. But I do love the look of the Marines, the bio, the sound effects. Beautiful. As we have vultures massing, and there we go, spider mines also being researched. Ion thrusters, of course, when it comes to vulture speed, so vultures are going to be even faster. They're building up, they're massing up to eventually move out. Meanwhile, SKillous going for his own Twilight Council opener into Blink. How many gates? So far, 2 gate Blink out of SKillous. Did I say 2 gateways? Going for a 3rd gateway, so very safe play, going 3-gate Blink into a 3rd. We'll see if SKillous goes for his tech first, or if he does go for the faster expansion. Gas is on the way. Getting into his 3rd gas geyser tells us that most likely is going to go for, the Robo into potentially Bay before expanding. Vultures, they bust out. They have speed, and they have Spider-Mine in a couple of seconds. They're trying to bust their way through. They are trying to. Spider-Mine is now done. It's now ready. Spider-Mine's get thrown down. When they zone away. Oh my god, massive connection in the mineral line. 3 probes going down. Now, bearing in mind, boys are being pulled. Spider mines do not get triggered on workers, but they do get triggered on units, on army units. Oh no! And they're about to bubble. No, no! Oh my god, massive connections. 16 probes going down, and just like that, Skillous is in trouble. Oh my, Skillous is in too much. Losing far too much here. Stalkers are getting completely shut down. And this was a brutal timing from BratOK. He's snowballing out of control, takes down the middle line, 24 probes going down, and alas, SKillous, he cannot maintain these losses. Not like this, he will clean up these vultures, but the damage has been done. 1 vulture escapes, not even. is going to be cleaned up. That's still 25 workers. Again, as a reminder, spider mines, they do not target workers. Workers, they count as floating units, but they were being targeted on the stalkers. The stalkers were in the mineral line, so rough positioning there by SKillous. He was in the mineral lines himself, so that's why friendly fire was, or I should say splash damage was caused, and the mineral line evaporated. 25 workers for 6 vultures. And this wasn't an all-in. That's what's important here. Back at home, we have siege mode being researched, already done. Tanks are amassing, vultures, third CCs on the way. BratOK is in a beautiful position. And right now, SKillous needs to get some kind of damage done. He needs to move out, needs to get something done across the map. Ooh, spider mine's nice control, does blink away, avoids the spider mine. Shuts them both down. Stalkers moving out, they can blink into the main. Tanks are out of position. BratOK, we're not ready for this. Yeah, now repositioning. Does spot the army. First tank is going to go down, gets caught unsieged. As Stalkers, they will delay this. They attempt to delay the CC. Spider mines being thrown down. Spider mines are on the way. So, oh no! They blink in! Oh, they take a spider mine to the face! SKillous not like this. He loses everything. Again, he blinked on the tank. There was a spider mine next to the tank. The punish was real. And with that, BratOK, he holds. He does hold on. Building on more vultures, more tanks. SKillous in a rough position. He gets punished for his blinks. Still moving out. More factories on the way. Oh my god, it doesn't blink in time. Takes a shot to the face. Only one. Takes one Spider-Man shot to the face. Vulture's going for a counterattack. Alas, behind this, what do we have to work with? We have a charge on the way. Still only 3 gateways. No expansion, no third. Spider-Man's in position to deny. Not an easy one here for SKillous. Does move in. Does move in. Chime boosters are done. Get our vultures into the main. Those are curious, that was a Goliath upgrade, so we should be working towards Goliaths at some point here to help support. So the upgrade is ready for them. Vultures, they move out. No, the opening is open. Yeah, the wall is open. Wall is wide open. There it is. GG gets called as vultures, they bust into the mineral line, and BratOK, he pulls SKillous apart. He takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Very nicely done here by BratOK. Does take lead in the series, and SKillous is now up against the wall. This is a best of 3. Best of 3 series here, but alas, SKillous, he is struggling a little bit. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he chooses to play Brood War Protoss or SC2 Protoss. What does he go for? What does he go for? What happened to Spirit? Spirit, he got knocked out early. I agree. I was very shocked to see Spirit knocked out early on in the tournament. Exclamation mark B in the chat. You get a link to the Wikipedia page. Spirit, he got 2-0'd by Wayne early on, like around round 16, maybe round 32. But earlier in the tournament, Spirit got knocked out. I didn't get to see the games. I'll be honest, I just assumed that he would have a deeper run. I was hoping to catch some Spirit action later, but didn't happen. Did not happen in the end. And yeah, with that, Spirit, he got knocked out earlier by Wayne. Curious as to how. Wayne is typically an aggressive player, so I would imagine all-ins were involved in some way. But hard to say. Hard to say. This is the second time I've seen the exact same strat against Protoss. Yeah, I mean, it's brutal, right? It's brutal. When it comes to your early game defense, whether it's your Blink Stalker control, whether it's your positioning, whether it's with even going for a Sentry-based opener into Force Field, I'm curious to see how our players do open up, as it looks like SKillous, he has made his decision. He is sticking with SC2 Protoss. Okay. And we're loading into Game 2. Game 2, we're going to be loading into a much larger map. We're going to be loading into Citadel. Oh boy. If you remember, what map is Citadel? Citadel is the 4-player map. Very large, has the big cannon in the center, 4-player spawn map. I'm hoping for a longer, later game between these two, but the pressure is now on SKillous. Pressure is on. Let's go. I don't support gambling. Oh no, you're lacking out on, you're missing out on your channel points, Bappy. Oh no. It's all good. As we are getting to our next game and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Citadel, we have our yellow Terran player, the Brood War Terran, once again leading the series 1-0. It is BratOK. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the SC2 Protoss, once again the red Protoss. For Team Liquid, it is SKillous. Here we go. Our players are settling in, and once again, as a reminder, this is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom right, top left, bottom left. You can spawn in any of these locations. There are Xel'Naga towers available. They're covered by rocks, so you have to open up the Xel'Nagas by knocking down these rocks. There are towers likewise in every quadrant of the map as well. Plenty of Xel'Naga towers, and we'll see how our players do open up, and we'll see how long it takes to scout, as we see SKillous is checking top left. So SKillous is scouting towards top left hand corner of the map. Yo, shout out to John X Cruz in the chat for the tier 1 sub for 2 months. God, baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much for the support. Let's go. SKillous force the ace match. True. That's all I ever want as a caster. Give us an ace match. Give us a back and forth. Give us a game 3. Give us a game 5. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, SKillous checks top left. Now he's going top right. So he's checking all the locations. Behind this, he'd go for a gate expand. Relatively equitable. Standard opener here by SKillous. Likewise, we have BratOK going for a Rax expand into his own factory. So standard openers. BratOK, he scouts bottom left first, and he rolls the dice. He rolls well. He gambas, and BratOK, he does confirm the location of SKillous. Does confirm. SKillous, likewise, now he knows through the power of deduction. Scouts top left, scouts top right. Now his opponent must be bottom right. So SKillous is now aware, coming with a probe scout. Alas, back at home, there's already a marine, already a wall, and SKillous, he will not scout the opener. He will not scout the production. So SKillous, at least he's aware of what's going on, but he is denied entry into the main, so he's in the dark as to what's happening. It could be mech once again, but do you see what I see? That is not a second factory. It's going to be a 1-1-1. It's going to be a 1-1-1. He's saying it, BratOK. I asked him how to pronounce it, and he did confirm you pronounce it like one word, not like two. So you can say it how you wish. I'll say it how the player wishes. As we do have our 1-1-1 here. And with this, we can set up for a drop play. Likewise, Stargate opener out of SKillous. And with this, we can attempt to harass Oracle base opener, maybe even Phoenix. We'll keep an eye on our Protoss player. Meanwhile, ooh, okay, interesting setup here. We have a control tower on the way. So Spider Mines, yes, so we are playing mech, but this build into the 1-1-1, are we going into Wraiths? Are we going into Cloak? Show us what you got. Ooh, Hallucination does confirm. Hallucination does see everything here within the bases. So nice scout up by SKillous. Likewise, dropship is on the way. And the Hallucination is on patrol. What's important, we confirm that there's nothing we researched here by the control tower. Second factory, so still mech, of course, into what looks to be a Vulture drop. Hallucination runs out. Here comes that dropship. Now, for those that are curious how this works out, as the initial Vultures are scouting for the third, and they do confirm, dropships do not have boost. Like medevacs, they don't have boost. Likewise, they cannot heal, so dropships are a lot more limited in what they can bring to the table. They can drop their ships. That's what they got. That's all they got back. Meanwhile, Spider Mines, they take down a sentry. Nice pick off without the sentry, limited scouting. Dropship is getting ready, and we're loading up. We're loading up for the drop. Oh, as a last defense, they will shut this down. Yeah, dropship does fall. The drop is denied. And so far, so good here for SKillous. We have some Spider Mine set up, but alas, the drop is shut down. As it's building up even more Phoenixes. Feels like Jamek, yeah. Good job, man. BratOK. BratOK means tough guy. Ah, thank you. Thank you so much for the translation. Do appreciate it. Thanks so much for the context. As vultures are trying to force their way through. But alas, so far, SKillous, he is a brick wall. This time he's ready. This time he defends. This time he is gaining map control and shutting down the vultures. Now, as the Phoenix count gets higher, I would expect to be seeing Goliaths here. Yep, there we go. Goliaths are on the way. Goliaths are coming online. Again, if you're unfamiliar with Brood War, Goliaths, they're like mini Thors. They are cheaper, they're more mobile, they're less clunky than Thors. I mean, for a long time, I feel like there's been a petition from a lot of Terran players to like bring the Goliath to SC2 instead of the Thor. Very different units, but likewise pretty well rounded. Can attack up, can attack down, has some pretty solid anti-air. And is the go-to anti-air option here for mech, at least without starports. Once we get into starports, we can get into, of course, Valkyrie production. We can head in that direction. But now though, Goliaths. Goliaths, we do have our range upgrade on the way. I believe that's called Charon Boosters, or Karen Boosters. Basically, that is range upgrade for anti-air. It does increase the anti-air range of the Goliaths. So BratOK is setting up. Likewise, SKillous will take another expansion, going for the fourth. Going for the fourth base. Can they be lifted? They can be. They're not as thick as Thor's, so they can be lifted. They can be raised. Goliaths, they do hold their own. Phoenix is looking for another way in. Turrets in position. And so far, 0 economic damage. You even have a Valkyrie as well. Valkyrie has arrived. Third base now on the way here for BratOK. So BratOK is expanding. Likewise, so is SKillous. We're building up towards the mid game, which is a rare sight. For those of you that have been watching the stream so far tonight, we've been seeing a lot of all-ins. I'll be honest, a lot of all-ins, a lot of aggression from players like Dark, from players like GG Machine, from players like Bjorn as well. Bjorn, he was proxy maxing. But now we can actually get into a proper game state. Now, as we do see BratOK setting up, this area is very wide open. It's very wide open here, so it's going to be an exposed third base location for BratOK. SKillous is knocking down those rocks. He's gearing up. He's getting to charge, getting to double rubber, getting to disruptor production. Interesting. Disruptors on the way for the Protoss. So going charge into disruptor. Phoenixes, they still look for a way in, but they are denied. They respect the Goliaths. Turrets being thrown down. And so far, what's important here is that SKillous, he's able to maintain his economy. Early on, he was under threat, and so far, these vultures have been used defensively thanks to the Phoenixes. Phoenixes, they have gained map control. Vultures now try to move out. Nice shot. Shot goes off. They do zoom across the map. SKillous is keeping up, and so far, his economy has been untouched. BratOK making his way into the mineral line, does get in. Barely does, but there's a cannon in position. You can two-shot probes. Cannon will shut this down. And Phoenixes, they will clean up the rest of the Goliaths. So the rest of the vultures. Vultures are cleaned up. SKillous defense. What's important, though, is that was distracting SKillous, allowing BratOK to build up. So more tanks, more siege lines, widow mines, or I should say spider mines. Turrets as well. He's securing himself. We have our science facility on the way. We can gain access into our spellcasters, into the science vessel. So BratOK is building up. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? Double Stargate into Skytoss. Skytoss on the way for SKillous. We are getting ready for a longer, later game. SKillous taking a fifth. And I'll be honest, I haven't really seen how Skytoss interacts with Brood War Terran. I haven't really seen that too much. I mean, I have seen it against, like, Bio against Ghosts. Like, Ghosts, mate, they pop off with their lockdowns. Like, yo, it's crazy. Drop is denied. But against Mech, I'm a little bit less familiar. We have our Valkyrie in position to deny that prism. Tempest production has begun. And what is going to be the best answer here to those Tempests? So against SE2 Terran, typically it's Viking, going into Ghost for support. Likewise, I would imagine that Valkyries would be a little bit more ideal. More so than Goliath. Goliath, sure, they have extended range, but I'm sure it's going to be difficult to really get under the Tempest. Soldiers do pull away. Gee, the chat, Tempest should have gone carrier. I mean, carriers have their place, but I think because the Goliath count is already decently high, I don't think carriers would be as useful. Tempest will outrange the Goliath, though. Like, maybe if there wasn't Goliath, then totally, you could rush into carrier and try to overwhelm this army. But because there's already a semblance of anti-air, I'm not too certain how effective that would be. What's important is that BratOK hasn't seen this, though. He doesn't know. Doesn't know what's happening, doesn't know what's going on. BratOK is in the dark. He's still incorporating a couple of Goliaths here and there. Oh. So I'll say catch out the vultures. Spider-Mines pop up. And here comes SKillous. Here comes his main army. He is close to maxing out. He's got his disruptors. He's got his Tempest. He's moving in. Likewise, BratOK not fully set up. He now does scout. He now confirms. He sees the Tempest for the first time. Now does spot them. But again, closing that gap is not going to be easy. He's got so many tanks. Too many tanks. Oh my god, the tank shots are going to be going off. They shut down the disruptors. Tank line is doing well. But again, BratOK, he needs more time for anti-air. Making more Goliaths. Does scan. Oh my god! No! The disruptors! They get left alone. Yeah, they're left alone, left idle. Disruptors, they're going down one after the other. Novas go off. Ooh, big connections. They do connect, but we're going to lose every single disruptor. Yeah, massive pickoff. SKillous, he was distracted. Left his army idle. Goliath, they start to step forward. They catch out one of the Tempest. One Tempest goes down. Yeah, we're going for lifts. They come in from behind. Tanks, they get caught unsieged. Yeah, a bit of a messy fight here. Some tanks do fall. Goliath, they breaking through, and there's only one Tempest left. Very nice target firing here out of BratOK. More Tempest massing up. Tanks are getting within range. The Bay goes down. No more disruptors. And the Goliath. So there's no kiting. Yeah, there's no kiting with the Tempest. Tempest are falling one after the other. Goliath range. It's cracked. It's crazy. Oh my god. Goliath, they chase down the Tempest. They're crazy. At the same time, SKillous going for a massive counterattack. He avoids the main army, but here comes that mech. As I believe Goliaths have 8 range. So have 8 range. Likewise popping up. Breaking through that defensive line. Disruptor is still building up. Meanwhile, nice counterattack. Base is going to be going down, trading a base for a base. But BratOK, he's so close to busting into the main, to getting on top of the production. Rovers are depowered. No more disruptors. What you see is what you get. Oh. Never gets up. There's 3 Tempests remaining. 3 Tempests remaining. We have more on the way. BratOK, he's closing that distance, so he's getting closer. Likewise, SKillous getting into the natural. Not bad. Catching reinforcements. Goliath is trying to hold their own. The mass Goliath. Trying to hold on. Likewise, this choke point is brutal. BratOK slowly pushing in. Making his way to the main. Nova goes off. Sees connection. Tank's trying to siege. Oh, I mean, it's brutal. He can't get in. The tank. It's too thick. Get the tank out of there. Does choke up the ramp. It's an awkward assault. Likewise, Zelda cleaned up. And it's getting some of the production. Stargates are falling. And we need those reinforcements. There's not that many Goliaths left. Not that many. Barely gets one more Tempest. Tanks are going down, and BratOK, his army gets cleaned up. He will lose everything here. And again, his reinforcements were so delayed. He was stuck at home. He was stuck at home with reinforcements. SKillous, he still has center left and top left-hand bases, still has expansion, still has an economy, which means he can still afford Tempest. He's getting up to how many? He's got 7 Tempests. Motherships on the way. Getting up to critical mass of Tempest. BratOK trying to hold on, retaking top right. Getting the CC on location. Get that CC. Vultures, they do deny mining. Deny mining. More Spider-Mans being set up. Scan reveals the main army. And BratOK, he needs that base. He needs that expansion. Does need it. Oh my god, he punishes so hard. Does punish those Stalkers. Stalkers, they cannot touch these tanks. The Tempest can though. And again, because of the range disparity, Tempest, they do outrange the Goliaths, but yet they have to be so careful here with their kiting. As Goliaths are more nimble, so they can close that gap. Base is going to go down. Okay, the expansion is denied. BratOK stuck on a 3-base economy. Still stuck on 3 bases. Goliaths, they try to bust in. There is a mothership back at him to defend. Still a very tense game state. Looking for some more value here. Vulture's moving out. So is the main army. Tempest are exposed. There's no support. Yeah, there's no support for the Tempest. They're exposed. They're going to be going down. They need support here. Disruptors, Stalkers, they need something. Oh my god. And SKillous is being chased down. The Goliaths are still stepping in. Takes down another Tempest. Nice slow zone. Slow zone does pin this back. Whew. SKillous, he does pull away. Gets out of there. Oh my god. Spider-Man's moving up. And yeah, the Masked Goliath is going to chase him down. Oh my god. Almost getting another Tempest, taking a lot of damage, a lot of hits. Science Vessel has arrived. We got some more consistent detection at least. Likewise, can go for the EMP. BratOK pulling back. He just wants an expansion. Now getting his fourth base on the way. Does pull back home. Doesn't want to lose that base. Zellarame is coming in, but this time BratOK is ready for it. He is ready. We'll bleed out a couple of Goliaths in the process, but we'll hold. Likewise, Vultures, they try to bust into the mineral lines. Oh my god! Spider-Mans, they punish! They shut down the Warping and Zealots. We get shut down. SKillous, he rotates towards the 3rd base. Towards the 3rd location. BratOK is keeping up. Is in position. There's a cloak. Slow zone on the main army. Ooh, Science Vessel goes down. Nice pickup. BratOK did overextend. And what's scary to me here in this kind of game state is SKillous' main army is just getting bigger and bigger here. What I'm referring to, the economy. Like, the economies up here towards the top left are untouched. BratOK is trying to do something, but the cannons, they shut down the Vultures time and time again. Not good enough. The economy is booming here for SKillous. And he has been able to max out. He's remaxed with a massive army. BratOK can take a fight. With a mech-based army, even though his army's smaller, it is more efficient. True. It's very... Oh no! Not like this. It's not efficient like this. They're raising away the Vultures. Oh god. Try to hold on. Send Tempest pushing forward. Vultures setting up traps. Speaking of... Oh! Oh my god. One mine does connect. One mine denies mining. Oof. It does cripple the economy. And SKillous, he's maxed. He's maxed out. He has a massive Stalker Zealot Tempest army. No disruptors this time. No splash damage. So more of a gateway composition, but the goal is to get on top of his tanks. Pause. We'll lose the vessel. Tanks are siege. This is a choke point. Valkyrie goes down. Tanks, they get a couple of volleys off. Not bad. A couple of volleys. Another slow zone. Disruptor production back underway. We have more disruptors. Oh, here comes the first Nova. Ooh, brutal connection. First Nova pops off. Here comes the second. Yeah, and BratOK is getting caught out. With that SKillous, he will take the fight, shuts down the main army, cleans up every single Goliath. GG gets called, and SKillous, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We are going all the way to game 3. Very intense game. Honestly, there was some really nice moments for BratOK, especially when he was pushing into the main. But if you remember, that push into the main base was delayed. We saw BratOK just taking his time with his tanks. He also got stuck at the ramp as well. Every second did count in that moment, as he was almost on top of the production, but didn't quite get there in time. Likewise, his reinforcements were also kept busy by those Zealot run-bys, and once BratOK didn't kill SKillous in that moment, then SKillous, he was able to overwhelm. Then he was able to take advantage of his greater economy, and of course his production was still somewhat left untouched, was maintained, and GG. GG well played. SKillous did snowball from there. BratOK was pretty all in when it came to that push. He was doing well, but not enough. Not enough in the end. With that, GG well played. We're going to the ace match. Catching up with the chat, doesn't look like Tempest outranged those Goliaths. They do. They do outrange. As we did mention, Goliaths, they get up to 8 range with the upgrade, and as we saw, SKillous, he was not kiting. So, especially early on. Later he was, but early on, it did seem like SKillous, he wasn't expecting the Goliaths to be able to get close enough to actually attack. So, SKillous, in the first engagement with the Tempest, he did leave his Tempest more idle. He left them alone, and that's why they got shut down, as he wasn't as attentive with them when it came to kiting, when it came to preserving his Tempest. But again, that was more so the beginning of the game, less so later on. This is SE2 on SE1 mode. This is StarCraft Evolution. StarCraft Evolution is it's kind of a new game mode. I say new game mode, it's been around for almost a year, I want to say, but there's been a lot of support behind it. We've been casting it quite a lot on the channel. It is a game mode that, or a game mod and game mode, I guess, that does incorporate Brood War and SE2 together, and it makes them face off against each other. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It is quite refreshing, especially, you know, if you're us, if like we cast StarCraft 2 on a daily basis, multiple times a day, and it is quite refreshing to dive into StarCraft Evolution. It's a lot of fun. Is a lot of fun. Is of course being actively patched on a regular basis. Is being updated. It's being patched. The map pool is being updated as well. There's a lot of support behind it. A lot of support. If you want to help support the StarCraft Evolution, I should say, I believe there is a Patreon. I believe there is a way to support it monetarily. Exclamation mark SC Evo. Yeah, there we go. Exclamation mark SE Evo in the chat. You'll get a link to the Patreon page to support the development of this mod. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the red Protoss player. We have the Brood War Protoss representing Team Liquid. Whew. Forcing the ace match. We'll see if he can close this out. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the SE2 Terran. It is BratOK. We go. Is it ever Brood War versus Brood War? No. We, in this tournament, in these events, in the StarCraft Evolution events, we never host SE2 versus SE2, and we never host Brood War versus Brood War. This game mode is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. It is only balanced for SE2 versus Brood War. Just as a heads up. And again, this is not a carbon copy patch of Brood War because the game mode is being updated and balanced quite regularly. I was mentioning some balance changes earlier, but the Goliath, for example, was nerfed. The Goliath was, especially, I believe its ground attack was nerfed. It was doing a little bit too well, was trading too well, and I think it was maybe a month ago the Goliath was nerfed. What else did occur recently? There were changes to the Scouts. There were a lot of changes to the Brood War BC. The BC was made to be more tankier. As you can imagine, just quickly a little bit, I guess, of a side tangent, the Brood War Battlecruiser is very different to SC2 Battlecruiser. The Brood War Battlecruiser is more tanky. It's less mobile, is what I should start with, because it has no teleport. Remember, there's no teleportation on the Brood War BC, so the SC2 one is just so much more mobile, and to balance that out, the Brood War BC became more tanky. They increased its armor values, they made it more robust to help compensate for its lack of mobility. For example, like little changes like that, ways to emphasize or support certain units and certain races where they can. Another recent change was the lockdown duration was reduced. Lockdown is pretty good. We haven't seen it yet tonight, but lockdown is insane. I love it. But arguably a little bit too good, so the lockdown duration was reduced a little bit in a recent patch. But now though, going to be settling in. We do have our initial opener, double gas into a faster factory, delayed CC out of BratOK, so a much more aggressive build from our Terran player. Meanwhile, SKillous back at home does go for a standard opener himself, opening up Dragoon, and this should lead into Reaver drops. Do you see what I see? I see a Robo. Robo typically in this game mode leads into a Bay, leads into Reavers, leads into Reaver drop play. BratOK coming in for the Scouts. Does dive in, does confirm. God damn it, Diva. But BratOK does confirm the Robos, so he can piece 2 and 2 together. Reaper is going to be cleaned up, and we open up with the Shuttle. Shuttle is on the way to move out with drop play. But are we only opening up with the Shuttle? Ah, there it is. Shuttle into the Bay, into Reaver drop. Let's go. And again, this is quite common in TVP. It's quite a common opener, quite a common build. It allows the Protoss player to maintain map control, to harass, to try to keep pressure on the Terran. We can see BratOK, because he saw the Robo, he knows, more or less. He knows what's going on. He's preparing back at home. We have the Cyclone defensively. Instead of going Viking, is going for a Liberator first. Interesting. Liberator is going to be harassing. Viking would have been to shut down the Prism, or I keep saying Prism. Shuttle. You know what I mean. To shut down the Shuttle, but is going for aggression instead. Dragoons, they do kite back. Gonna be kiting back. The Reaver is on the way. And so far, SKillous trading well. Kiting back, picking off and picking away at the Marines. Cyclone gets a lock on. Is gonna be broken. SKillous trading well. The tank, though, has arrived. And with the help of this tank, the Dragoons are gonna be forced back. Oof. Yeah, massive tank shot goes off. Oh my god. Second tank volley as well. With that, BratOK holds. But here comes the second wave. Here comes the Dragoon. The Reaver, I should say. So we have Reaver, we have shuttle speed also being researched. Now when it comes to the Reaver itself, you might be curious, especially if you haven't seen Brood War. The Reaver is almost like a mix between the Immortal and the Disruptor. Because there's no Immortals or Disruptors. Again, it's kind of like a blending of the two in a way. It does do a lot of splash damage, but kind of like a carrier, you have to actually make the ammunition. You have to make the Scarabs one at a time. As you can see here, there's one Scarab, shot goes off. So you have to pay for each shot. Unlike the Disruptor shots, you don't have as much control when it comes to where the Purification ever lands. Here we have the Scarab shot that just targets. Does target, does chase. What's interesting about the Scarab shot is that it is impacted by terrain, by units. Can be blocked. But here we go, we're going for the mineral line. Tanks are in position. Has to be very careful. Remember, there is a delay. When you drop the Reaver, there's a delay between the drop and the Scarab shot. So it is vulnerable to these tanks, and in the end, gets the hell out of there. Oh! Observer gets caught. SKillous sharking around, waiting for that shot. Behind this does expand. And again, this is the reason why you want to, or why this opener is so common and so popular. Right now, he's not getting any damage. True. But what's happening? BratOK is defensive. He's staying back at home, ready for the Reaver drop. Because of that, SKillous is allowed to expand. He's taking a third base, he's saturating his third. Right now, BratOK is defending back at home, but actually getting ready for a move out. Observer does spot this. It's going to be on SKillous to try to slow this down. But the Vikings are zoning. Oh, let's go. Look at it. It's like a giant caterpillar. Oh! Vikings do zone. Here comes the push. Dragoon's coming in. Does force a siege. And again, it's on SKillous to slow this down as much as possible. Just slow down the push. Oh! Has to be careful. As that shuttle is so low. No, the shuttle! Oh god, get out of here. No. One shot away. Shuttle falls. And without a shuttle, those Reavers are so slow. They're so vulnerable. They're powerful, but again, as you can see here, they're not very nimble. So rebuilding the shuttle. We have a Zealot on the way to reinforce. Charge almost done. I should say Zealot legs. As speed on those Zealots is a little bit different than the SE2 variant. Likewise, bunkers being thrown down. SKillous has to be so careful with that Reaver. It's going to make or break this fight. Tanks are moving in. They're slow pushing towards that third. As the shuttle is rebuilt. Zealots are getting ready for a surround for a flank. Let's go. Zealot legs are done. Zealots are preparing. The observer's over the army. And he does see the unsiege. He's going for it. Oh, not quite. Trying to catch reinforcements. If not, just go for a counterattack. This is a 2-base all-in. Bear that in mind. No third CC. 2-base all-in out of BratOK. One way or another. Either he kills SKillous or he dies trying. And Zealots, they bust in across the map. They get into the natural. Marines are falling. Scarab Shell doesn't quite go up. BratOK, he respects it. He backs off. But across the map, these Zealots are wreaking havoc. They bust through the mineral line. SCVs are falling left and right. And BratOK, now he can't sustain himself. He is all in, but now he's stuck on a 1-base economy. As everything falls here at the natural. Oh! Shuttle taking a lot of hits. Once again. BratOK moving forward. Sims in. Does catch one Dragoon. Nice trade. Dragoon, Zealots going down. Reaver comes in. Up! Oh my god, doesn't quite connect. Whew. BratOK does avoid it. But he will lose that natural. Natural has fallen or lifted, depending on how you look at it. SKillous going for another Zealot run by. And true, I mean, there's no rush. Like, SKillous doesn't have to save the space. Doesn't have to save it. Reaver shot goes up. Massive connection. Does connect. Base is going down. Zealots they get across once again. They shut down the bio. And sure, SKillous, he lost an expansion, but he saves the probes. And he's still mining on a 3-base economy. Zealots are coming from behind, collapsing all those tanks. He comes in for the surround. And the tanks are falling. Reaver shots going up. And SKillous, he will clean this up. He will clean this up completely. The tanks, the bio, GG gets called. And SKillous, he will take the series 2-1. Whew, GG. Does take the series. BratOK, he was completely all in on 2 bases. He had no third TC. Unfortunately, he did miss the Zealot counterattack, and he had nothing at home to defend. He had no Sim City, he had no bunkers, he lost everything. And what that means, even though, sure, he was all in anyway, it means that he could not sustain the all in. It was supposed to be a 2-base all in, knocked down to 1. And with that, he ran out of steam, he ran out of reinforcements. With that, he was overwhelmed. And we do see SKillous advancing on in his stead. GG. GG, well played. SKillous does advance on. Shout out to BratOK though, because we had a great game, especially on Citadel. Like, Citadel was the highlight for me. It was beautiful, it was amazing. We got into like a proper economy, into a proper base count. But alas, the show will go on, and we have our next series getting ready for us. Up next is going to be another TVP. SKillous is up against Bjorn in the next round. Let's go.